Hello Nissan Skyline fans. So I don't think I've ever done a review on this car here, but I thought it was worthwhile because you'll see towards the end here. First, the second generation Skyline GTR, it had like 50 wins in the Japan racing series when it was out, so that's pretty amazing really. It says here on the Nissan Global website, 29 GTR string of consecutive wins stopped at 49. So 49 straight wins, and 29 of them were for works teams. So naturally, if you look at this image, there's a lot of Skylines racing around in the Japanese Racing Championship. So it makes sense. I'm not sure what this other car was going up against, what that car is. RX-3? No idea. I don't recognize it. So anyways, let's take a look at this Kyosho here. And so this one has a racing name here of Tohira, okay, and number 30. So I don't know when this model came out. I don't have the packaging. It was loose when I bought it, and so it's probably a while ago because you got the paint blistering here on the green stripe. So that's too bad. But look at this. It has separate plastic windshield wiper blades. That's not common with Kyoshos. I don't see that really ever. They're usually just molded into the glass, so it's quite interesting. Yeah, going to the front, there's a oil cooler, I assume. I don't think these are turbocharged, because also the lines are too thin. It wouldn't be an intercooler. It's an oil cooler. So yeah, we got some covers for the headlights here, and there is a texture back here in this grille, and it's painted black. And then look at this, it's got, I don't know if you can tell, but these are separate clear plastic turn signals. So let me actually zoom in a little bit. I mean, those are small pieces of plastic, right? So that's a great job by Kyosho in the fine texturing on that oil cooler. Okay. Oh, I didn't even notice this before. There's a black roll cage and there's a rear view mirror. So this is like above and beyond your typical Kyosho. They usually don't have such interior details. Okay, going to the side here, we got these, I think these are called Watanabe F8s. And there's air passing between the spokes, which is great. The panel lines are okay. And it's a white paint, so it's alright. Keyhole, silver on the door handle, black window molding, so that's good. All these prints are tampoed, they're not decals, so they should last for a long time. And then you'll notice this has a fender flare in the rear, which is common on regular production cars. But the regular production cars I don't think had front fender flares. So this might have been just for the racing. I know Kyosho has other ones where they don't have that front flares. Okay, going to the back, we got the plastic lenses here for the taillights as well. And some bumps where I assume the stock bumper might have been mounted to, but it's not for a racing car. And this thing is screwed together. This silver paint here for this side exhaust pipes. So yeah, this is not typical. A regular standard car would have the exhaust coming out here. Alright, so this is a whole different casting here. Not their typical Kyosho mold, I guess. Or it's a different mold specifically for this race car. And maybe, I'm just looking at this giant circle, maybe the base plate had a locator pin to keep it falling off, spinning on the display stand. I don't know. But I do know these axles are awfully thick for Kyoshos, it seems. It almost looks like a UCC. No, it's not a UCC coffee because it says Kyosho. I'm a little confused, to be honest with you. Anyways. Okay, so the printing here on this side is just as nice. It's pretty good. Alright, so yeah, that interior really threw me off because I didn't expect a roll cage. But yeah, there's other molded details. It's kind of hard to tell with the distorted windows, but there's some ribbing here on the seats, it seems, and the passenger seat is different from the driver's seat. The passenger has ribs, but the driver's is flat. But no indication of like racing harnesses or anything like that. But still, all in all, it's a pretty cool looking model, I think. I've seen some other Kyoshos, I think, where there are no names at all. So I'm not sure if that's a different casting or what. But the reason why this video came about is because I was shopping locally again and I saw this model here, and I like Skylines. It's the most popular car in my collection, but So I picked this up, and let's take a look at this. So it says 2000 GTR Racing. Okay. So very similar. We got the same type of wheels, it seems, and then the printing on the side. But this one, through my research, Kei Takahashi, that is the same character listed here on the Nissan Global website. Maybe you can't, it's hard to see, but here at the bottom it says the 50th win or something. Racing Clause. Yeah, the 50th victory came in 1972 and was driven by Kei Takahashi. So if you look at the picture of the car, it's a number 15 as well. So that happens to be this model, and I didn't know that at the time. I just bought the model because it looks cool, and I didn't have a blue one. You know, I had the green one already. But so yeah, that's a pleasant surprise that I have a historic model of a historic race-winning car. And so again, I bought this loose, no packaging. I have no idea when this model first came out, but at least this time there's no blistering going on in the paint. A little contaminant there, maybe in the wing though. And then looks like we have that same roll cage. Let's take a look here on the inside again. No, it's different. This time there's ribbing on both seats, so the interior is a different mold. So that's pretty cool. And there's unfortunately there's no rear view mirror on this one either. But there is a roll cage, it seems. So different. Okay. Let's go into the back here. Yeah, the lenses. And then there's like a black strap holding the trunk down. So, and then these are rectangular, whereas the other one I think were round. We're gonna have to pull out the comparison tray. Okay, but this side we got this nice tampo printing again, no decal BS, so that's good. And then again, an oil cooler, but this looks different from the other one. And no plastic inserted blinkers. These are just painted silver. So this is a different model entirely. It looks similar, but it's not. It's got latches here to keep the front hood down as well. I don't recall that on the last one. Okay, so let's get the comparison tray out, because Kyosho went through the trouble of making two different GTR racers of this Hakosuka. So let's see here. They want to roll off the tray, so it's kind of... Alright, so let's look at the front. So there, if you want to pause, it's clearly different. The the oil coolers are totally different. And it looks like this is a lower car. It's possibly wider, or it's an optical illusion, because the blue car has a front spoiler, right? This chin spoiler. It's totally missing from there. So quite different, right? The fender flares seem a little bigger on the blue car as well. And then, yeah, there's a grill texture. Yeah, I can feel the texture there. So interesting. You can see the four little vents here. They might be there on that, but it's covered by the oil cooler. So that's interesting. And also looking at the bottom here, the tires are totally different, right? So this is a lot of crazy detail. Clearly laziness occurring here. At least they have the pipes, but they're not even painted silver. And then this is riveted. These are screwed. So quite a big difference there. I do feel like these tires would be more realistic because they're narrow. I mean, this is a late 60s vehicle, whereas these are all the same size, which is possible as well. Okay, interesting. So let's take a look at the back here. Yeah, so it's like these little bumper struts, they protrude from the blue car, but they're kind of flush with the green car. This one has a molded and painted black strap for the trunk. This one's got nothing. The tail lamps are different too. There's a big gap here on this one, whereas this is a much tighter gap on that one. But it's nice that they're plastic on both. So now the always challenging one is to try to hold both cars and try to keep the camera in focus. But that's hard to do without three hands. Oh, okay, so I did do it. It's hard to tell with the wheels because they're black. Let me zoom in. I think they're different. Look, yeah, even the wheels are different. The center gaps are totally different. I kind of feel like the bottom car is more realistic. I don't know what's going on with the centers of the top ones. Okay. You'll see the door cuts are different too. On the green car, the door cuts are more straight, whereas on the blue car, they seem a little bit more arced out. So I don't know which one would be more accurate, to be honest with you. But okay, so that's quite interesting. The fender flares are a little bit different even, at least the rear ones. The curvature on the bottom. The windows, yeah, the window moldings are different. This, the bottom one has like the little lever, I guess. Maybe these things pop out at an angle. I might be wrong though, but there's something there for a reason. Whereas this one doesn't have it at all. The door handles are different, it seems. So quite interesting. I don't know which model would be newer. It seems like there's more detail going on this model because of its plastic turn signals. And then you'll notice here it's got a black print for the marker here, but this one is like a bump and is covered by an STP logo. Alright. Let me back out again. Alright, so yeah, that interior, even the rear deck here, there's a lot of molding detail going on here. Whereas this just has like a vertical strut. The front, I mean, this one has almost no wiper blades. They are there, but they're molded into the windshield glass at the bottom. Whereas this one clearly has nice wiper blades. The ribbing here is very faint, where here it's quite prominent. So, well, I'll be darned. It's interesting to catch these things. Kyosho, they could have easily just stuck with the first one, whichever one that is, I don't know. But, because they're both nice. But yeah, this one again, it has got the hood latches, but this one doesn't. This one's got some tight panel line gaps here. This one is kind of filled in with the white paint so much. So, again, as I mentioned, if you look online, there's some with no racing names at all. I'd be curious if that's even a different mold from these two. It would be interesting if they made 3 different ones, but this is, again, a very historic vehicle, especially to a Japanese company. I mean, this would be like the Corvette of Japan, or, yeah, I guess the Corvette of Japan, right? If that's a... So, okay, well, anyways, it's interesting to learn and look at these models, right? So again, we'll try to pan out here. Maybe you want to pause it and try to read that story, or compare it to the photos, what you think might look more realistic. But if you like Skylines, I would say either one of these are pretty nice. Just be mindful that there actually are at least 2 different molds, 2 different castings going on. I'm glad I got both now. Okay guys, thanks for watching again, and we'll tune in again. See ya.